What is going on, guys, and welcome to another race of VIL. This is race 10 of season 1. We are here at a sunny Canada. It is looking like hopefully we have a sunny Canada all the way through. We have got another full grid of 20 we are looking at today. Yeah, it's looking like a good one. See if One can actually repeat on his win for was it One? Sorry, no, Dan, sorry, repeating on his win from last week and try and extend his lead in the championship even more. We are looking at Haas being the really in control of the constructors at the moment. But as we go on board with the first out, which is a Williams, which I think is Demon Racing, who has just let past, I would assume is Energetics, yeah. So I'm going to quickly hop on board with him. As Energetics is actually on the hards at the moment, which is kind of interesting, seeing if he's going for a different qualifying sort of way, or if he's going to do the one shot and qualify on the mediums and see what he can do. Obviously, this is a two-stop race unless you're insane on tyre wear and tyre management. I think the strategy around here is soft off medium as well, which is the quickest. As well. What is up to everyone in the chat and who has tuned in to with today's stream? We are missing Daka today, mainly because of issues that are unforeseen. He should be back for next week though, and we'll get a commentary back, but we've got me today. So I'm going to quickly hop on board with, I think Energetics is going to be, yeah, on a run at the moment. As Young Lights has left the session, if anyone can get him an invite back into the session, that'd be great. I'm not 100% sure what's gone on with him, but we'll be looking to see. I do know quite a lot of these drivers had practice and have really put in the hours for this race today, so hopefully we do see a competitive race as Young Lights does connect back to the session. So I'd assume that is connection issues for him. So we do actually have 3 drivers out on the harder compounder tyres at the moment, so we'll be seeing that. So final chicane going into the Wall of Champions is a massive there. If you can gain so much time going around there. It looked like the Racing Point did actually invalidate. His total Ps goes fastest with a 1:09.3. Looking like a couple of issues as well in turn 1. It's getting a bit busy. So I'm going to sit on board now with GFO Seb, who is coming down to the chicane. He's going to really push to get himself on pole like he did, I think, last week. Well, at least try and command it. Straight lining that as quickly to the line, gets on pole by 1/10 of a second with a 1:9.2. Ferrari looking quite strong around here today. We do have Kingshome who's just come over with a 1:10.3, but on the medium tyres. So I think we'll see a split strategy around here today as well. Really looking to see where some of these drivers can place themselves on the grid. So we do have, I think, 3 reserve drivers in today, which is LH44, who is brand new to the league. I know a bit of history on him, and I know he is quite a quick driver as well, so we will be expecting to see him fairly high up, as Jonathan Cox does set another fastest lap of a 1:09 flat, so it is getting quicker and quicker. As we also do have Elysium and Liam also, and Droff, sorry, so we do have 4 reserves for today. As we do have One now going fastest with a 1:08.9. Really improving the times and really making this as competitive as it can be. So I'm going to sit on board with Young Lights' lap around here. I am actually going to quickly put the telemetry on just so I can see what ERS mode they're in and if they are on a lap or not. We will be just sitting on board and letting Young Lights take us for a lap around Canada. This is a really interesting circuit, a favourite of quite a lot of drivers around here. It's a good track to drive, quite flowing as well, so you can really get yourself in a rhythm around this track. It's quite a lot of laps, quite hard on the tyres as well, so we'll be interested to see how the drivers cope with that. As Andreas has gone fastest with a 1:07.88, another 1.2 tenths up on One. As we're going to see Young Lights come across the line, see what he can do. And that's going to be 7th place with a 1:09.895 as people aren't on their final runs yet. Really a massive mix of tyre compounds at the moment. As we do have Energetics looking to go out on the mediums soon. I think he might be aborting the idea of that, but I think we are just trying to look for someone who's on our lap at the moment, and I don't think we have anyone. Oh, we might have Leper. Leper is on a lap, so we will sit on board with him, really using the most of the track limits around here. I think you'll see a very mixed up grid to what you're used to be seeing around here. Some of these drivers are very, very quick around here. And some of the drivers you would be used to seeing at the front may fall into the midfield. Not quite getting it wrong right there, going through the chicane. So now he's just going to come through the chicane now, and we will see what time he can make there. This chicane is massive on time. If you really hit that perfectly, you can gain about 6-7 tenths just on your previous lap. He has gone 12th at the moment with a 1:11.3, so it's not the greatest time there. We do also have Demon Racing now on a lap. There is a Mercedes just in front. Jonathan Cox now getting out the way, being quite observant of what is going on around him. Sending it quite deep into the chicane, but hopefully getting a good run out. Looking quite good actually, so we will be seeing what he can do as well. I'm really looking to see this midfield really be tight up, and then any little mistake will be punished around this track. Hitting that chicane quite nicely there. Not quite using all the track limits, but that might be better for him. As Laggy Racer has got damage, obviously making contact with the Wall of Champions. Demon does go 7th now, splitting the two Renault drivers. Elysium has just gone 14th, Flea as well going 13th. So we have got the majority of the drivers now who have set times. We do have Dan Murphy as well on a lap, the championship leader. He'll be looking to extend his lead today. As he's really using all the track limits there, coming up to the back of a Toro Rosso, but I don't think it's going to affect him. That's put him in 7th place there on the medium compound tyres. Not quite the quickest of the medium compound runners, but it is his team, the Haas driver, so they are looking very strong at the moment. We are still waiting for a lap of 3 drivers, where LH44 is just coming across the line now to start his lap, but we are still waiting on Liam MD and Maslas. but that is invalidated straight away by LH44. But we are waiting for those two to still leave the pits. Maybe they got the tyre compounds messed up or something like that. But we do have One now on a lap coming down the back straight. Just in front of him is a Ferrari that's just gone into the pits, but One now invalidating at the chicane, which is very, very easy to do. We're going to just quickly sit on board. No, Andreas has also invalidated his lap. But P's just really slowing it down, just letting everyone pass. Young Lights isn't on a lap either. Just going to quickly try and find someone who's on a valid lap. We'll just sit on board with Total P's and let him take us up for a lap around Canada, as he's got Elysium just in front of him, which I'm hoping he does get out of the way. He does do that. Has just invalidated just there though, so this lap will not be counting. As we have now got Maz on his first out lap, so we will be, I think, sticking on board with him for a little bit, just to see what he can do, see if he can better his Racing Point compatriot. Now he's just heading on to a lap now. We'll be seeing what he can do. Actually switching off him there. Oh, now we've got the Ferrari King's Home just coming out. Not giving Maz the freedom that he quite wants. But Young Lights has just gone quicker by another tenth to Andreas with a 1.8645. That is a very good time there. So we will probably be seeing people speed up, as there is only 5 minutes left of the session now, so people will be setting their second to last runs now, as we do have a Red Bull starting his lap as well right now. Liam has just retired from the session, hitting the wall of champions there, which will probably make the Haas driver that just went through there really have to slow it down. But we do have Maz now on the back straight. He's going to be sending it through the chicane very, very soon. Jonathan Cox slowing down, just not getting in the way. Just straight lining it to back, and he does get her into 12th. That is very, very close midfield right now. 1 second splitting 6th all the way down to 13th. So as we can see, every little bit helps. As we do have some drivers hitting up their final runs. Energetics has aborted his lap, which I'm not sure for a reason why, but he might be going for another one after this. Demon Racing has also retired from the session, assuming he cannot get another lap going, as Laggy Racer is going to come across the line, seeing if he can improve on his time. No, he doesn't. It was invalidated. So he will be going for another lap, actually, which he hasn't turned down. Elysium, sorry, getting out of the way. Hitting the wall there. He'll be lucky if he gets off without end plate damage, and he has lost his front right end plate, so that will be probably he's hit that hard. That will be the end of his run if he is to improve. He can get back in and out again, possibly, if he does do it quickly, but he can't be slowing down. As we are going to sit on board with Ole, who is now down in 4th place. And UF1 is actually in 5th as well now, so he is doing quite well. He has actually just started his lap, so we are going to sit on board with him and see how he can do, see if he can improve on what he has just done. As we do have the two Haas drivers in the midfield at the moment. of 7th and 8th, so not an ideal one there for them, but NUF1 setting a purple middle first sector there, and I think that is Jonathan Cox getting out of the way of NUF1 there. Really pushing the track limits here, NUF1 is. We'll be seeing what he can do. Getting a good run now out of the chicane, seeing if he can improve on his time of a 1 minute 8:09:04. He'll be really looking to attack this curb as it is running to the end of. He's absolutely smashed it. He's pushed that to the limits. We'll be seeing what he can do. He has just gone pole with a 1 minute 8:4:52. That's an incredible time there. As we are going to see One, who has aborted his lap as well. Maybe he's got damage. Yep, he hit the outside wall at the end of sector 1. But we are going to sit on board with Dan Murphy, who has just started his lap as well. So we will be seeing what he can do. As his Haas compatriot has just gone out on his lap, who may need to move out of the way at the end of this lap. That little bit of oversteer will not be very good for him at the moment, but we'll be seeing what he can do. See if he can better his time and push himself up the field. He's improving by a 10th at the moment, setting a purple middle sector. So we will be seeing this come out right now, as One has retired from the session, not going to be able to better his 5th place at the moment, but that is only provisional, so not guaranteed. Droftas is also retired, as Dan Murphy does come through the final chicane and sets a time of a 1 minute 9:4, not being able to get himself into the top 5. He's going to be on the fourth row of the grid. Not ideal for the championship leader, as Jonathan Cox is actually, I think, no, he's on a lap now, but he has invalidated it, so he will be staying in P7. So I'm going to quickly, sit on board with the Haas of Energetics. Seb goes quickest with a 1 minute 8.2. So really pushing the times now with another 2/10 off NUF1's times. There is defo the gap there to put himself in the middle of those two, or maybe even improve. So we'll be seeing what he can do, really straight lining that. Getting a bit of wing damage there, but hopefully that doesn't matter too much, as he does come across the line and beats his teammate, but not being able to squeeze himself into the top 5. As we have Maz now coming across the line, see if he can better his time. Yes, he does. He beats his teammate Pease. So we will be seeing that as LH44 comes across the line, just running out and goes into 4th place, pushing Dan Murphy onto the 5th row of the grid. And that is a good showing from the reserve driver. As I think Andres is still on a lap actually, so we will be seeing if he can push himself into the top 3 or maybe even a pole position lap time. It's going to have to be a big one. Oh, it's invalidated. Just noticed. So I think, yep, that is how it is going to end now, with Seb on pole with a 1 minute 8:259. He's starting to look really in form in that Ferrari. And then you've got NUF1 Lights, LH44, Andreas, One, Energetics, Murphy, Jonathan Cox, Maz, Pease, Droftas. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. If anyone knows, if you could correct me on that. Demon Racing, Flea, Paz, Elysium, Laggy, then Kingsholm, Leper, and Liam MD rounding off the grid in the McLaren. So we have got the McLaren sharing each side of the grid, and that'll be interesting to see how both of these drivers do. This is going to be looking like a very strong and very close affair around Canada. Hopefully we get a bit of a repeat of Monza last week. That was an extremely good battle at the front, and we'll be looking for more of the same this week. As it is looking like another dry Canada, so no split strategies or free choice of tyres for the top 10. And I think they all are all starting on the soft compound of tyres. It is just interesting to see if anyone outside the top 10 is going to be starting on the mediums or maybe even the hards and go for the one stop. But we will be getting onto the formation lap in 10 seconds, so we will be able to go through the grid one more time and just look at who is on what strategy as well. So now away for the formation lap, and we have got some different drivers as well lining up on the grid as well, in position wise on the grid. So we've got NUF1 in his best qualifying position of this season in second place. Hopefully he can replicate that through the race and get his best finish of the season. I'm pretty sure his best so far is a podium of P3. So he'll be looking to better that. And then we have Young Lights as well, who is P3 at the moment, but will be looking to get really a finish in at the moment. He's been very, very quick, but not being able to keep it together in the race. And we've got LH44, the new gunner, who is going to be looking to put an impression on everyone in the reserve of Nova at the moment. And we've got Andreas and One. Those two are stuck together this season like glue, always near each other. And we have Energetics and Murphy. I'm wondering how that's going to work out with the championship leader behind his teammate, whether the Energetics is going to drop behind his teammate straight away, or if they are going to be racing. And we've got Jonathan Cox. We know he's quick. He won his first couple of races around it in this league, and it's not gone too well for him since Silverstone. Maz in total, P's. Maz has been very consistent this season. P's not quite the same. P's has been the quicker driver though this season, but we will be seeing if that switches again, as we've got GFO Seb coming around to end off the formation lap. So we do have Laggy actually starting in 20th, so I'm not sure if there was a there must have been a 5-place grid penalty there, but that might go well for him after turn 1 if there's any contact. As we do have the Liam MD and a Williams rounding off the grid. They were a long way back. But we will be seeing how turn 1 goes. It could be quite messy. It's quite a slow first two corners, and these guys are going to be going for it all the way there. As we have 3 red lights, 5 red lights. And away we go for race 10 of VIL. And it looks like Seb has managed to hold it, and Young Lights is going to be making the move for second place now. And it looks like Young Lights has managed to make it stick, and Andreas has made the move on LH44 as well. Energetics falling quite a way through the grid as well. Maz getting another good start, as Andreas is moving down the inside of NUF1, moving himself up into third already. Really looking like he has got this race start down, as Pease moves past Energetics and is looking to get past Droptas and makes that look easy. So the 2 racing points getting a quite good start. Andreas now moving into second place on the outside around the chicane. He's not going to be able to make a stick, but is he going to get the better run now? I think he will. He's going to be side by side. Whether one of these are going to back out, it going into the chicane is going to be another story as Young Lights thinks better of it. And Andreas actually has to cut over the chicane, giving Young Lights the better run now. Going into turn 1, he's going to send it down the inside, see if he can keep that. Nope, Andreas has moved up 3 positions now. Going into lap 1, that is incredible. And UF1 getting it all wrong and spinning the car around out of the back of turn 2. He's going to be extremely annoyed with himself, having to wait for every single car on the grid to get past before he can turn that car around. Now we have Murphy right on the back of One. He has had an incredible start as well, moving up 3 positions, really looking to get as quickly onto that podium battle as possible, as it does look like One is dropping a bit off from the front of this grid, but GFO Seb really showing that he can compete at the top now, as Jonathan Cox does move past his teammate of LH44. Sure, there might have been some team orders going on there, but Maz also dropping 2 places now to Droftas and Total P's. Maybe letting Total P's go, and Droftas moving in past as well, as we've got the Energetics also on the back. And we do have Jonathan Cox in the pit, so again, some wing damage there that he's not going to be happy with. But he will be probably onto the hards as Pease moves past LH44. And is Droftas going to try and move with Pease and make Pease almost like the Red Sea? As Pease gets front wing damage, that's going to definitely slow him down. He's not going to be happy with himself about that. He is on the mediums though, so we'll be seeing he's got wing damage on both sides. So he's going to be very, very slow now, as he's going to be moving down the pack. As we are going to stick on board now with these 2 drivers going side by side, just about giving enough room. This is incredible racing here, as Droftas is looking for a way through. There are 4 cars spread under a blanket, you could put these, but here we go. P's still getting the better run out of the hairpin to keep himself in front of LH44, as we have had Flea now move all the way down the back of the grid, so we will possibly damage there. But Liam also going way deep at the chicane, as I think Droftas there has just had a bit of an issue as well, getting big amount of wing damage, maybe hitting the inside pit wall, trying to make a bit of a move there, but sending it down the inside of Maz now, who got a bit of contact from LH44. Energetics will be looking, and there's a virtual safety car there, so this will cool it down a bit, but it does look like the top 5 have massively separated now from everyone else. We have got a couple of groups going on here, and Liam MD is out of the race, putting it into the wall at the Wall of Champions. That's unfortunate for him. So we'll be quickly looking to see who has had the best start so far, and it has looked like Laggy Racer gaining 9 places from the back of the grid. That is someone we have not had much look at, but I would be interested to see some of his moves up to this point. But he is down the inside of Energetics at the restart now. I will be sitting on board with him to see what he does. He is on the harder compounded tyres. Liam MD does leave the session, but he is going to go down the inside, and neither car is going to back out, and Laggy Racer has to back out, but he gets that move done. That's very well done, and Paz moves through as well. Like Energetics losing 2 positions there. He's going to be all over the back of Paz though, not allowing that car to get away. It does seem to be that the soft compound tyres are dying off right now. So we are going to quickly just have a look at everyone's tyre situation. So we have got everyone up to Maz all on the softer compounder tyres, and then Laggy Racer is at the front of the medium compound runners. But Maz is now becoming under pressure from Laggy Racer. Laggy Racer is having a stormer of a race right now. Demon getting past Elysium as well on the soft compound tyres. So I'm not sure, it's bit of a 50-50. I think it's touch and go right now for the drivers. but Maz is definitely getting caught up with, and Elysium now making the move on Demon. Demon getting back past as well, so this is going to be a big battle. Dan Murphy going past One as One goes into the pits. I'm not sure if that's a wing damage thing or nope, that's just, this is a pit window now for the soft compound runners. One is going to hope he doesn't get caught up in too much traffic now. Coming out just in front of NUF1 it seems. Oh, maybe just behind. It's looking like it's going to be behind. And it is just behind, in between the Leper and NUF1. He's going side by side already with NUF1. NUF1 backs out. He knows this isn't his race anymore. We have got Laggy Racer all over the back of Maz now. Laggy Racer is probably going to be looking down the inside. Decides not to do it there, but gets a very good run on the exit there. He's now side by side with Maz. Maz is going to have the inside, but backs out and lets Laggy Racer take 6th place. Laggy is on an absolute stormer right now, doing bits for the Red Bull team. As Dan Murphy moves past Young Lights as well. Dan Murphy is looking very good this race. It's just whether he has the pace to catch up to the two in front. Young Lights is really going to be looking to get as good a result as he can. Probably not battle as hard, as he hasn't had the greatest results recently. As Energetics also moves past Maz. Maz is now falling a bit back into the clutches of the middle of the pack. Paz is going to be looking to get past Maz as quick as possible as well. Virtual safety car again, and that looks like Droftas has dropped it into the wall of champions. Yes, he has. That's unfortunate for him, as we've got NUF1 now coming in for his pit, as Elysium is still battling with Dan Murphy. No, sorry, Demon Racing. But this has been a very entertaining race so far. 7 laps of madness. Maz getting 3-second time penalty. Droftas has also left the session. He was looking good until that, but what can you do? As we've got Total P's coming out the pit again, so his race has not gone too well at the moment, but things can change. Safety cars are a thing as well, as Paz is all over the back of Maz. And Maz now dives into the pits, deciding that's enough of the soft compounded tyres. As Andreas now comes out of the pits, and we'll stay on board with him, see if he can come out in front of One, who is that's gonna be big for him. Yes, he does, and he comes out in front of his Toro Rosso teammate. He's going to be looking to get past Demon Racing as quick as possible, so I'm going to stay on board with this battle right now, just to see how this goes. Demon Racing just lets him go, decides it's not his battle. These guys are really not holding up the front running guys. As Andres is going to be looking to get through this grid as quick as possible. We are going to stay on board so far. I set in the purple middle sector, so I would be expecting possibly a fastest lap on this, as it is possible on the pit exit lap of Canada, as you do miss the first corner. Really closing up to the back of King's Home there. On the back, we've got quite a few drivers coming into the pits. Young Lights and Murphy both getting overtaken now by Andreas. We'll have a quick look to see where those two come out. They're going to come out behind One, but in a nice bit of clean air there. Young Lights is going to be looking to just stick with Murphy as much as possible. Really not liking the grass there, as NUF1 does set the fastest lap of the race, as Andreas does move past King's Home, so he's absolutely storming through, and this could be big if Seb does stay out for a bit too long, or maybe doesn't navigate the traffic as well, as Paz gets it all wrong, gets a bit of wing damage there, and Andreas is going to send it down the inside. These guys really knowing when to pick their battles, and Andreas is not their battle. Energetics might be battling a bit harder though, because his teammate is looking to catch up with them. So we will see how that goes, as Energetics does get a little bit of a squeeze on, but there's nothing he can do there, but does send it. No, he's going into the pits. So now Seb coming out of the pits. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out behind Andreas now. That's quite big. But is he going to come out behind One? Yes, he is. He's dropped 2 places now off of the start. We've got Laggy Racer leading the race at the moment on the medium compound tyres. Jonathan Cox moving past Energetics, who is in the pits. And he is coming out just in front of Maz, who is on the harder compounder tyres. As we have got GFO Seb moving past, Paz getting moved past, so we've got quite a lot of movement going on here, but obviously it's the front runners just carving their way through the middle pack. Formula 1.5 as said, which is very much heating up actually as a competition as well in the championship. But that's all about consistency as well. So we have got Laggy Racer not being able to hold up Andreas. So One is going to have a bit more work than he would have liked to do. But Seb is going to have the quicker tyres as well. So he's going to be looking to get past One as quick as possible and really bring a heat to Andreas, who has 3 lap older tyres than him. Just wondering if that's going to have an effect now as these two go side by side. Paz not letting Dan Murphy through that easy as Dan Murphy sends it down the inside. Paz seeing him there and giving him the space as Young Lights has a 3-second time penalty. Not being able to get it past Kingsholm, but obviously he doesn't want to send it too hard as it isn't the battle that he needs to get. But he needs to get through it quick, as he's in a bit of danger of these two battling, and he could get stuck behind him. Now there's yellow flags in sector 3, not sure what that's for, but now you've got Young Lights going down the inside of Kingsholm, getting that done. And is he going to get past Paz as well on the straight? It's looking like he is. Only going past Laggy Racer. GFO Seb going past Laggy Racer as well. Laggy Racer getting a 3-second time penalty. That's his second of the race. Paz letting that go. Seb all over the back of One. One is under a lot of pressure right now, and he's also catching up to Andreas, as Total Peace does retire from the session. We will be keeping an eye on this battle here. This is a big one for the Ferrari family. Just to see if Kingsholm can get past the Alfa Romeo driver. There's a 3-second time penalty there for Jonathan Cox as well. Demon Racing also picking up a 3-second time penalty. I think this is going to be quite high on penalties as well, looking at how things are going. I need to put the telemetry on quickly now, just to see what the ERS modes are. And they're definitely attacking. So we are going to keep on board now. These two are going to end up side by side just in front of the chicane. It's whether Seb decides not to, or I hope he's happy to go side by side, not quite being able to get it done. But is he going to get the better run going onto the back straight? Yes, he is. Is he going to be able to make it done? He does get given the outside of turn 1, which isn't the best, but he does get given the inside for turn 1, which he has made that move stick. So that is Seb up into P2 now, and One is going to be looking to try and get past as well. Energetic cruising past the guys who have just pit. Maz now separated and has been overtaken by NUF1. Young Light's going to be looking to get on the back of Dan Murphy while he battles Young Lights, who is going to be coming into the pits, I would assume, quite soon. Maybe a couple more laps, maybe 7 or so. He might be going 20 laps on the mediums. I think they can go that long. The Laggy Racer not being able to hold up Dan Murphy any longer, as Young Lights is now on the back of Laggy Racer, but I don't know if he'll be able to make this move now, as Laggy Racer will have the ERS, but I don't think he's really battling it, as Young Lights does go through Laggy Racer, giving him a little bit of a squeeze, but nothing to worry about there, as we've got GFO Seb now in the pits. That's going to be a wing change now. That's going to be big for his race. And I don't think he's going to be happy with himself about that. But Elysium's very, very deep now in the battle with Kingsholm as well. We'll be looking at this. Paz now retiring in the Wall of Champions, it seems, as well. Safety car is out. So this is really going to mix up the grid now, because obviously Laggy Racer and his move, and maybe Seb will have hoped he could have kept it one more lap. Drive through penalty for Kingsholm for speeding under the safety car. This is ideal for the likes of Dan Murphy, who has the youngest tyres of the top three, and Young Lights is going to just stick behind. Kingsholm has retired from the race. I'm not 100% sure why, but that is him out. He was on for points finish, I would have thought, but Dan Murphy now coming into the pits. The top three all coming into the pits. Young Lights now coming into the pits as well. All of them coming into the pits. Laggy Racer is well within a chance as well. Elysium also coming in. Everyone coming in to the pits to give themselves, as Maz doesn't, which is interesting. He's going to be on the slowest compounded tyre is around, but they're 6 laps older than the tyre that everyone else is going on to now. Murphy's gone on to the medium compounded tyres. Maybe he's thinking he can take those another 20 laps, but they will fall in off at the end of this race. That's going to be a big judgment if he can do that. Maz really in the top 5 now. Laggy Racer just behind on those harder compounded tyres. But this is going to heat up for the final 20 laps of Canada. They go around quite quick, so we've only got about 25 minutes left of this race, more than likely, for these guys to really get... Well, so far, I would say Laggy Racer has had the best race out here. GFO Seb as well has done quite well, got himself in, but he has gone on to the mediums, which is going to make him quicker at the start, but it's whether Dan Murphy and Seb can make these tires go another 20 laps. Obviously they will be helped for another lap or so. Dan Murphy's out of the race. I'm not 100% sure what went on there, but that is him into the Wall of Champions. I would love to see a replay of what went on. That's quite big. Under the safety car, Dan Murphy is out of the race. I'm just going to quickly hop into the Discord to see if anything has happened. No one's speaking, so I'm not 100% sure what's gone on there. But if there was content, there'll definitely be a steward's report in. But luckily, I'm just going to have a look at championship standings. It's not going to be too fatal if One does win this race. It is going to close it in a lot more, but... I'm not sure if that was just a mistake on his own, maybe losing it, or... as we have got the safety car in this lap now, so we'll be seeing Andreas lead the pack and see how this repair has left the session. He is still racing as well, so he should hopefully get back in the session as quick as possible. Andreas does restart this, getting quite a good launch actually, but not getting it perfect, as only does get a better run than him. Young Light's falling a little bit back, but Maz is really just cruising, I think, happy with where he is at the moment. Hoping he can hold off some of these drivers behind. Seb's going to be on an absolute mission as well. Lepper's rejoined the session as well. But One is going to be hungry for this win now, knowing that his title rival is going to be getting no points for today, and he could be getting 25 points, maybe even 26, if he can get the fastest lap as well, and that will really put him in contention again. As Demon Racing moves past two drivers there, and LH44 moving past another driver, Lepper lagging out again. LH44 on the back of Demon Racing now as well. He's not going to be making the move going into the chicane, as DRS is not even activated yet. It is going to be very close. Maz now in a P4, getting a nice run, but I think Laggy getting a slightly better one. GFO Seb is not going to let Laggy loose on Maz though. He's going to want to do it all himself, so we will be seeing maybe Maz get a bit of rest, but as Seb sends that very deep, just about being able to avoid the rear of Laggy's car, not getting it right at all. It's going to let NUF1 back into this battle. NUF1 was quick at the start of this race, so we will be seeing he is a front run pace, so it'll be interesting to see if he can put Seb under pressure, as this is the battle to keep an eye on at the moment. It's a train of, I think, 10 cars, maybe 9, so Laggy Racer all over the back of Maz. He's going to be wanting to put down the inside as quick as possible. Yes, he goes into the chicane, puts it down the inside. Maz has to back off. There's no way. He's going to come under pressure now of Seb. Seb puts it down the inside. He's going to get the inside line for turn 1. Putting him onto the grass a little bit there, maybe just not giving him the room that he quite needed. Now Maz is getting under pressure by NUF1, who he's not going to give the space. He's not going to let everyone through. He's holding on to P6 now. NUF1 is not going to be able to make the move there, but Energetics coming under pressure from Demon Racing. That is also something we have to keep an eye on. Demon Racing all over the back of Energetics, and he is going to be sending that down the inside. Whether he can make that move stick, no he can't, but he's getting another even better run there, as Maz gets the move made on him by, as that's a good move send there by Energetics, and Maz moves even further down the grid. This has not been the race he wanted at the moment. Now Maz going under pressure by Demon, and Demon's now going to be under pressure in Energetics as well, not going to be able to move down. There we go, and they've all formed into single file there. Demon not getting the run that he wanted either, so they will be going side by side. No they won't. Maz backing out and not having that happen. LH44 is now next in the queue to battle with Maz. Then you've got Jonathan Cox, who's going to be looking to get through these guys as quick as possible. LH44 making a bit of contact there with the wall, but getting quite lucky not to have any. Jonathan Cox making the move look easy down the inside of his Mercedes teammate. Now he is going to be next in line and looking quite fine to make the move on Maz. who I think he's going to do it down into the chicane. Yes, he does. He makes a move. Does he make it stick, though? He's got the outside line. Yes, he makes that move stick. Maz is falling through the grid right now quite quickly, like a rock in a lake. It's not looking good for him. As LH44 is now next in the queue, and it does seem like they're forming a queue to get past the Racing Point driver. As now we have Elysium moving past Flea for P12 in the race, and he gets that move done quite nicely there. So the Toro Rosso up into P12. It's getting close to points. Maz has to hold on to this against LH44 if he wants any chance of points. As there is going to be no pitting now, and he is on the oldest compounded tyres, so I wouldn't assume LH44 has got another 3-second time penalty, so he could be making up positions at the end of the race due to penalties and everything like that. But we have got Jonathan Cox now all up the back of Demon Racing. He's going to look for the move. He can't make it done, but we have also got NUF1 looking to make the move on Laggy Racer, which we are going to keep an eye on, and we can see the move with Jonathan Cox in the background just about as Laggy Racer backs out and lets NUF1 have that move. Jonathan Cox also moves past Demon Racing. Jonathan Cox now up into P8 and Laggy Racer down into P6. Still been a great race for Laggy at the moment, from P20 to P6. That's a 14 place gain, looking good. As NUF1 is really on a recovery race. He wants to get that podium, but it's whether that can be done. The top four looking very, very strong. As these have been pretty much the same space for a couple of laps now, as we have got LH44 right on the back of Maz. Not sure if he's able to make the move yet, though, as Maz is going to be battling for his life. This is the only points that Racing Point will be taking home today if he can make one. As at the moment, NUF1 does hold the fastest lap of the race with a 1:11, which I think will be standing as well. So I think he'll be quite happy with what he has recovered from today. You will not... As Energetics now moves past Laggy Racer, Energetics up into 6th place. Laggy Racer getting another 3-second time penalty. These time penalties for some of these guys are going to be immense at the end of this. LH44 move into the pits, and that is a spin by Asylum, getting it all wrong on the exit. Oh, and that may be his wheel gone. That's definitely a red front wing there for Elysium, and he just got it all wrong on the exit. Car got a bit unbalanced on the back end, and it just went. So he's going to have to be pitting the next lap. But we are going to be looking on the closest battle at the moment, as Young Lights has actually got past One, which I didn't actually realise. So I'm just wondering now if One will be getting back past, and Steamer Racing makes it past Laggy as well. So Laggy's also dropping like a bit of a rock in a lake in this race as well now, as Young Lights is going to have One on his inside down into the chicane, and One does make it stick and gets a better run on the exit there, and also gets DRS, so really having quite a nice secured position. But Young Lights on for his best result of the season so far, so he's looking quite good as Maz moves past Laggy Racer, and Laggy Racer now goes into the pits. I'm wondering if Maz can keep these hard compound tyres going for another 11 laps, sorry. Got a 4/10 gap now from One, as those two are gaining on Andreas. Andreas is probably conserving. No, he's not. So these guys are all pushing as hard as they can just to keep it up as possible. LH44 now in 10th place, 21 seconds behind Maz, who's Maz is going to feel like that's a nice little break. I think he's going to just chill in 9th place, thinking that's probably the best he's going to be able to do for this race, but he is within sort of the clutches of Demon Racing, who he could be passing. Demon Racing also being one of those ones who haven't been too lucky this season, but GFO Seb has really made his way onto the back of these three now. So we might be seeing a bit of a DRS train form as of yet, because One has got himself into within a second of Andreas, as well as Energetics is closing into the back of NUF1, who seems to be dropping off the pace a little bit now. Maybe starting to feel the wear of the harder compound tyres, maybe not doing the practice he needed on the harder compound tyres, maybe not, I don't know, think about it, but Maz has come out onto the soft compounded tyres, so maybe he's looking for a battle with LH44, I don't know, but he is going to come out just in front of him. LH44 has just done a fastest lap as well, so it must have been essential for Maz to pit now. LH44 is going to be on the attack massively. As it is starting to spread out a bit more, but energy, as we've got young lights all over the back of TNR One Ole, but he is not going to let that go, but young lights getting a much better run out, but One making it as Seb has lost it there, coming out of the Wall of Champions, and that's not going to be good for him. He's trying to get that, and he has retired from the race. Not too great for him. He was a pole man, but now he's out of the race. These guys, that is a real Wall of Champions. It's claimed many lives today. But now we are going to be seeing young lights really getting the pedal to the metal to try and get that race win. As we have got another safety car coming out as well, as it looks like LH44 has retired from the race. I'm not 100% sure what for. I'm going to see if it's still there when Leper gets to the incident, and it is. So he has hit the back of, I think, Seb's retired car, which is, yeah, it could lead to a punishment there, obviously, because retiring on track is not the one. As Maz is gonna really catch up to the back of these guys now. Jonathan Cox looking to get onto the back as well. So we've got young lights getting held up a bit in the pits there by the Red Bull, I think. But we are going to be seeing now NUF1 coming out in front of Energetics. He's going to be loving the fact that he managed to hold on to that position as Energetics comes out onto the softs. It's going to be a split strategy here for the soft compound runners. The young light's going to be all over the back of these two in front, but whether he's going to be able to make it work and make these soft compound tyres run to the end is another story. But Elysium now in a race with Laggy Racer and has lost out the position under yellow flag though, so I'm not sure if Laggy Racer is going to have to give that position back. Yes, he doesn't. No. Yes, he does. Yep, Laggy Racer having to give that position back to Elysium. It's a good job Elysium realised that before Laggy got a penalty, but he has fallen a long way down the pack. One mistake in this close of a pack really does ruin your race. But we have had 7 drivers retire from this race. It's been quite a big, almost death toll. But it's all still very close and very much all to play for us. Andreas decides he wants to race the safety car. As Young Lights is going to be hoping, I think, that this safety car goes on for a little bit while longer so he can have those tyres in as good as condition as he can for the end of this race. But he is going to be sending this down the inside of One as soon as he possibly can, I reckon. But the two Red Bull drivers will not be giving away positions very lightly either, so we will be seeing a lot of battling into the final parts of this race. I think the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap more than likely, so that is just a quick one to look out for, as Leper will be coming onto the back of this train. Jonathan Cox is also within a shout of a good result here as well, as it didn't go his way from the start, but obviously if you keep your head in it for the rest of the whole race, safety cars come out a lot in this game, so they can save you. As we will be seeing if Young Lights can get a better launch than Andreas and One. Now, as One is going to be restarting the grid again, it's going to bunch up massively here. These guys, and Andreas going, and Young Lights is actually now under pressure by NUF1, so not ideal for him, as we have got Energetics now, who has lost the car and has just gone into the pits now, obviously getting a bit of damage or something on the restart. He's not going to be happy about that. But Young Lights breaking free from NUF1, but not an ideal restart for him. But he has got the soft tyres, so he will be looking to gain time on the two cars in front as quickly as possible. It's something we will be keeping an eye on as Laggy Racer moves past Asylum and makes that stick there. So we have got Jonathan Cox closing up to the back of NUF1 as well. And he is going to get DRS coming out here. So Young Lights could be under pressure now from Jonathan Cox as well. He needs to keep an eye out from what's behind him as well as in front of him. I forgot DRS isn't being activated yet, but One is all over the back of Andres. One is going to want this win, as quite big for him, but One getting fastest lap of the race, so that's going to also be quite big as well. I think Dan praying with all his might that Young Lights can get himself involved in this and demote One for another position. As there's 3-second time penalties dished out to those two drivers there, taking the same line and getting punished the same. We've got Young Lights actually gaining quite a lot this lap. He's gained about 4 tenths so far, getting a bit of a oversteer there. Jonathan Cox falling back by a second this lap as well, so not quite getting it right. And UF1 keeping on the back of Young Lights very well. As Young Lights doesn't seem to be getting the greatest of exits out of the chicane, which could cost him a lot at the moment. As we could say Energetics go for a push for the fastest lap of the race, as DRS has been enabled, so Young Lights needs to try and get himself in this DRS zone as quickly as possible now, or else he might be left by the two front runners. We've got NUF1 is just going to be dragged along by Young Lights as well. Young Lights coming very, very close to the wall there. Jonathan Cox picking up a 3-second time penalty. I think he may have got wing damage as he is falling now through this pack. No, he's just losing time quite quickly to the guys behind. Not 100% sure what the issue is, but Demon Racing now moving up into 5th place. Maybe this just isn't his race. The Young Lights has even fallen back again from the drivers in front. He's not going to be liking where this is going. is NUF1 is all over the back of him and will probably be looking to make a move into the chicane, and we'll be staying on board. These two going side by side into the chicane, and Andreas keeping it clean and Andreas making it out in front. But this is a battle for the lead and possibly the race win, and One moves into P1. Laggy Racer getting a 3-second time penalty, but One is now in the lead of this race. It's not gonna be without any like hassle from Andreas behind, but this could allow Young Lights to come into the frame a bit and maybe give a bit of battle as well. This is the closest battle now on track. Young Lights gonna really want to get into this DRS to keep him safe from NUF1. Really, not getting it all right there though, as NUF1 does look to make it past, and he does that nicely. And I think that might have been before the DRS detection zone as well. So NUF1 getting the DRS and Young Lights losing out. This is not going too well for him at the moment. But Andreas is going to be all over the back of One. Andreas at the moment really looking to get this move done as quickly as he can, but not being able to keep up as it seems. NUF1 is closing up to the back as well of these two, so he'll be looking to get himself involved as Laggy Racer moves past Flea, and as Elysium now moves past Flea as well. So quite a lot happening there, but NUF1 is looking like the quickest guy on the track at the moment, really gaining time on Andreas. Andreas does seem to be having a couple of issues, falling 6 tenths back into 4 tenths. DRS seeming to keep him up with One, but that's not going to help when it comes to NUF1 because he is also in DRS range. NUF1 is going to be all over the back of these two, and this is something we should keep our eye on for the rest of this race. I'm not sure what the penalty situation is for these guys, but it's going to come right down to the wire. You've got the man in the McLaren who's spun at the, smelling blood, seeing his opportunity of redemption. Qualifying P2, getting it all wrong there though, going through the chicane. The other two in front of him getting it so much better. Young Lights does seem to have fallen off, as we've got yellow flags in sector 3, and that is Elysium losing it again in the Wall of Champions. So not too great for him, but it does look like NUF1 has not had as good of a lap as the two in front. It does look like One is just chilling at the moment, as Andreas gets it all wrong there, and that's going to really make him fall back a bit. One having a bit of comfortable time. This is going to come down to the final lap of the race. Could come down to penalties as well. I know the two at the front do have penalties, of whether NUF1 has penalties as well. Laggy Racer picking up yet another penalty as well. He could go abroad with that many. Flea and Laggy Racer is out of the race, and that is him done, back down to P20, getting disqualified I think for the amount of penalties he ended up getting. That's why he got put all the way down to the back. As we do have NUF1 catching up to the back of these guys. He's probably hoping that they have more penalties than him. I'm not sure how many he has himself, so this could be big. It could be decided on penalties just like Monza was last week. But this is defo the one to sit on board with at the moment. Oh, as Andreas gets big wing damage now, and that's going to let NUF1 come into the frame massively as he gets a much better run through the chicane, but he's going to get a better run going into the chicane, sorry, hairpin. He's going to get a much better run going into the chicane. I think he's going to be sitting behind. He might send it. He's not going to be able to catch up. as Andreas picks up yet another 3-second time penalty. One comes across and wins the race as NUF1 takes his first race win of the season. Demon Racing now coming into second place. This is amazing for these two drivers. One moving down into P3. He's not going to be happy about that, but as I said earlier, penalties do decide races, and NUF1 managing to keep it out and deservedly winning this race. It's been amazing recovery from him, spinning it on lap 3 and coming back to win a race. So that is his first win of the season. Also Demon Racing, his first podium of the season, probably his best result he has got, and he's going to be ecstatic with himself as well. On the contrary though, P3, 4 and 5 are not going to be too happy with the way this race has gone. They were looking quite good in the front 3, but penalties got to them and shoved them down. Because I think they all got the same amount of penalties actually, so not looking too good. But you've got the likes of Jonathan Cox coming across the line at P6, Flea P7, Leper P8, Maz P9, Elysium P10 getting the last point of the race, and we will just watch Hilke come across the line in P11. And that is a race for Canada. Looking like it's getting a bit dark now, so maybe if we did a bit of a longer race, or it started a bit later, that would have been a wet race. But congratulations to NUF1 getting his first race win of the season. We will be back here in 2 weeks' time, I think, because we have got a break week next week. So NUF1 going to be basking in the glory of a win. Demon Racing basking in the glory of a podium. Two Norwegians up on the podium sharing a good time. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.